You can be forgiven if you think these images are of Greece or Rome, but this is our tour of Ephesus in Turkey. Welcome back to Why We Buy It.
So, Amy and I have got a second here in Ephesus where there's absolutely nobody around us.
Because we went from the bottom up.
And this is one of the advantages of not going with a tour is that you get to do your own thing.
Yep.
And when you got moments like this with absolutely nobody, they're perfect moments to get pictures, to just take everything in and do it at your own pace. And honestly, getting here without the tour wasn't that difficult. It takes 2 little buses. The first one you don't even have to take. Honestly, you could just walk.
If you can walk it, it's like maybe a 10-15 minute walk from the port, which is awesome. And then we actually thought the second bus was going to be about an hour and 20. It was 20 minutes.
Yeah, so
awesome.
Getting here by bus is a joke.
Yeah.
And using the 2 buses basically cost us $2.50 each in euro. So dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Right?
So take the bus if you can. It's the cheaper option and honestly the more fun option in the long run as we're enjoying this right now. So you're welcome.
You guys are in line and we're not.
We trust you because we're walking.
Yep. So something you need to be aware of if you do decide to take transit like we did is that where the bus drops you off, it is still like a 10 to 15 minute walk depending on your speed to get to the bottom entrance and an additional 5 minutes beyond that if you want to get to the top.
Yeah, and then entrance fee to get into just Ephesus itself is about 40 euros. And I think it's about 15 euros extra if you want to enter the Noble Terraces.
If you do have kids with you, as long as they're under 8 years of age and you've got proof of that, they enter free. So just be aware, if you are going to take transit like we did, you will have to walk a bit.
So wear comfortable shoes because there's a lot of uneven grounds and the stones can be very slippery.
Yeah, like we had shoes that were relatively comfortable to wear, but without a lot of tread. So if it actually rained that day, we still would have been sliding around.
The other thing too is we started our tour from the bottom of Ephesus and went up, and there was 2 reasons for that. The first reason was because it was actually easier to go up instead of coming down because of the slippery stones. Secondly, the tours drop you at the top, so all the tours are coming down, so it's kind of easier to navigate around them as we're heading up.
Yeah, you saw in the video as we approached that there was tour buses at the bottom, but that's after they already dropped people off. They basically assemble in a little parking area there, and when the tours get to the bottom, they load up and they take off. But also, it is the closer entrance to the drop-off point for the bus. And like Amy said, it's easier to go up than down, and you're going against traffic, so you get a lot of empty space to yourself, which is the key reason for going by yourself.
So what surprised you the most walking into Ephesus?
Honestly, it was the sheer scope and size of it all. Even though I had researched it and it said, it's a very large ruins, I didn't expect really what appeared to be a full city.
No.
And the remnants of it. And when you see the lineup of, tourists that are there and all the tour buses and the like, you're thinking, oh, this is going to be exceptionally crowded. This is going to be brutal. But it's so big that when you do it on your own, you can find areas that no one's at.
That's very true. And we did find a few.
Yeah, we did find a few and we'll share them with you. But it's only because of how big it is. And unlike a lot of the other ruins we've been to, you can walk in most everything.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons why we decided to opt out of the Noble Terraces and stuff, because the actual size of Ephesus, we were like, well, this is going to take us the day.
Oh, this is the end of this. Come on. While exploring the medieval city, we found areas like this that the tours absolutely ignore. And that's because they're on a schedule. When you're doing it by yourself, you can take the time necessary to find spots like this. Areas that we saw 3 separate tours while we were up here pass by and not a single person came up because they were on a street that was about 100 meters away. So take advantage when you're on your own. If you watched our previous video on Rome, you'll know that we found one of these hidden areas when we were walking the Roman Forum as well. So whenever possible, visit the sites by yourself.
Hi.
This is one of the most impressive things here. The front fascia of the library. The Library of Celsus is considered one of the main highlights to see at Ephesus. It's considered one of the great libraries of the ancient world located in the Roman Empire, and it was the third largest library in the Greco-Roman world behind those of only Alexandria and Pergamum. It's believed to have held around 12,000 scrolls.
As cool as the library was, my favorite thing in Ephesus was the Great Theater. What's really cool about the theater is you can enter freely and explore the whole thing. Tread lightly, because we did have to walk on some uneven steps and climb our way to the very top. If you are uncomfortable with heights, check out the main stage at the bottom and imagine what it's like having 25,000 people watching.
How cool is this? Want to get a picture? Rarely do we cover a single spot in our videos, unless we're doing a review of a particular hotel we stayed at.
Yep.
It's always about a whole area.
Yeah.
But in this particular video, we decided to share with you just Ephesus. We didn't cover our whole time in Kusadasi, just Ephesus. And that's because it surprised us to the extent where we thought we need to educate other people about this, because I didn't even know really this place existed until I started doing research of the different locations we'd be going to on this particular cruise.
Yeah, so we've seen like a bunch of other ruins, like we did Rome and we saw the Roman Forum and the Colosseum.
We saw the Old Town and Rhodes.
Yeah.
We went to the Acropolis in Athens and saw the Parthenon. I mean, these are places that are on everyone's bucket list primarily because we all know about them, we all hear about them.
It's true.
But they didn't compare with Ephesus.
No, Ephesus like blew our minds to say the least. And it was the sheer the sheer magnitude of the size of it. You know, walking through was, you know, you had a couple major things to see, like the library and the theater, but there was like other little areas that you could kind of walk about and get a full experience of it. It was just incredible.
Yeah, some of the just ruined buildings. We don't know what they were.
No idea.
I couldn't tell you what they were, but the fact that you could kind of go from building to building to building in these ruins and just kind of like walk your way through and explore areas, turn corners where you don't know what's there. And everywhere you look, there's another great view, another great picture you have to take.
Yeah.
And when you do it by yourself, you can actually find places to take pictures where it's just, one of you or two of you together, as opposed to crowds upon crowds in the background. And we're going to share a bunch of these photos with you as we're talking.
Yeah.
But what really made Ephesus special for me was the size, right? Is the fact that it felt endless. And like, don't get me wrong, the Roman Forum's pretty big.
Oh, it's huge.
But there's only so much of it you can see before you got to pay for more.
Yeah.
And even though it's a big location, it's nowhere near the size of Ephesus.
No.
You got places like the Parthenon, which unfortunately you can't really get that close to anymore.
No.
Or the Colosseum, which you can go into, but generally you're going to find yourself waiting in line. It's not cheap to get in there, and you're still limited. Those are really impressive structures, and Ephesus doesn't have a structure that intact, really, that's that big and all-encompassing, but the overall size of Ephesus beats both those places easily, right? And yeah, the Colosseum's fantastic.
Of course it is.
Unbelievable.
We still haven't been inside of it.
Right? It's unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
You got to see the Colosseum, but if I had a choice between going to Ephesus or going to the Colosseum, I'm choosing Ephesus every day and twice on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's that impressive.
Yeah.
And it blows my mind that I didn't know about it until I started doing research for this cruise.
Yeah, and like you would know, like, you know, there was like the shore excursions that kind of highlighted it, and then we always do our research to be like, this is what we're interested in and what we want to go see. So if you want to get a full experience and you still want to do stuff throughout your day because you are time restrained when you're on a cruise, start from the bottom and work your way up. One, it's so much easier to start from the bottom and walk up because, like I said before, the stones and stuff can be very slippery and uneven grounds. But it's like you also have the tours that start from the top and work their way down. So you're not fighting with all those tours that are coming down. You get to kind of work your way up the hill, which makes it so much easier.
Yeah, and there's that natural sort of follow the leader instinct that people have. So if you are going the same direction as the tours, it's only natural for you to start following where they're going, right? Because obviously they know where they're going, but when you go the opposite way, you kind of have to explore more to find your way to the next section, to the next section, to the next section. And it's because of that we found some of those areas that the tours don't touch.
Yeah.
The tours don't go near. You know, there's only a few areas where you find yourself on a path that actually has some like sand or dust on it because it hasn't been walked in the last few hours because no one's gone through there.
Correct.
Right? So that's one of the big advantages of going on your own. And like Amy said, go bottom to top. Go bottom to top. It was super hot and dry that day, and it still felt slippery. You said it while we were there. I can't imagine this would be like if it was actually raining. Like,
yeah,
I'd be panicking.
Yeah, I feel like they shouldn't even be open because it'd be so unsafe. Like, they'd probably be sued left, right, and center.
Right.
But yeah.
And something of note that you probably should know if you plan on visiting, there are a number of sort of tourist trap retailers just before you enter.
Oh yeah.
But just after you enter from the bottom, as soon as you come through the gates on the right-hand side, there's like a bathroom there that's sort of hidden. You have to go down a little stairway, but there's a bathroom right there. So when you get there, if you feel like I kind of got to go, that's where you go because once you're in, good luck.
Yeah.
Right? Good luck. So that's where the main bathrooms are. And I mean, avoid the vendors out front of the place. There are a lot of places in Turkey to get a good deal. That's not one of them.
That's not one of them. No.
Right? But if you haven't yet,
like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and become a member.
Yeah, become a member. We'd love to have you as a member. We're going to put a lot more on the membership side. And honestly, if you enjoy videos like this, where we're just giving our honest opinion, completely unsolicited, right?
Not scripted.
We tell you the good, the bad, and fully unscripted. We just kind of roll with how we feel. And that's why occasionally we might say something that's
weird
or wrong. and if it is, I'll mention it in the description. I don't think we made any mistakes in this particular
No, we're perfect,
video,
right?
Honestly, we're just sharing how we feel. We're just sharing how we feel because that's what travel's all about, right?
It's about getting those experiences and that make you happy, make you question things, and just enjoy life.
And honestly, good or bad experiences, in the end, sometimes even the bad experiences
you get a good story out of it.
Are funny to look back on and tell stories about, right? If you haven't seen it yet, maybe look through our catalog, check out the story in Saint Martin.
Oh yeah.
It's a good one. It's a good one. So do yourself a solid, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.